So if you are paying attention to anything that's happening in the White House, President Trump claimed that there was $8 million spent on transgendered mice. There's literally no such thing. So transgenic mice are genetically modified organisms. These modifications allow scientists to study genomes, gene functions, model human diseases, and medical treatment. So I've worked with genetic mice for a very long time. I started in 2016. And I learned how to genetically modify all types of mice for different researches as well. I know that it is a very controversial topic for a lot of people, but I want to clarify that it is a very humane process. With the types of modifications that there are now, it has evolved greatly from back when I first started. We now have CRISPR gene editing. We have knockout mice, which is a mouse where you knock out a certain genotype and you study that specific genotype, so you knock out the other genes, which is pretty neat. And I want to state that this is not a political video. I'm just here to clarify a few things since this came up, and some people apparently believe it. No, $8 million was not spent on transgendered mice. There is literally no such thing. To clarify, transgender means someone that believes that they were born in the wrong sex. That does not mean transgenic. So because of the knowledge that I have in this field, I figured that this would be the perfect opportunity to make a video. Some of this may be controversial, but I have done literally everything regarding genetics with mice, breeding mice, creating genotypes, making surgical procedures to create genotypes that don't exist. Get a female mouse that has a certain genotype that is needed for her offspring. So we would deliver a ovary transplant and create that gene. So yes, it's controversial because technically you're playing around with life, and if you're religious, generally people frown upon that. However, because of the studies that I've been a part of, there has been multitude of progression with understanding genes and understanding medicine, whether it be breeding genotypes, in vivo, which is inserting a study into a living organism, in vitro, which is taking out an organism and studying it, or in silico, which is still being studied right now. And one of the most controversial ones as well is having fluorescent mice, which it sounds scary and it looks a little scary, but it is glow-in-the-dark mice. The genotypes come from the jellyfish gene that are exsanguinated to now create mice that glow in the dark. So why does this happen and why is it needed? So in order to prevent anyone from hurting mice, back in the day, when you needed to study an organ, you had to euthanize a mouse and cut the mouse open. Now, with glow-in-the-dark mice, you can put them under a black light and see their organs. It is not a painful process, and they are not aware. And they are not even glow-in-the-dark until they are in the black light. And working with mice, we have a lot of humane treatments and even IACUC, which is the department that checks in on everyone working with mice, making sure that they are safe, they are happy. And as someone working with mice, we were always told to let a researcher know when something wasn't okay with us. So if the mouse looked in pain or if they wanted something that would hurt the mouse, we were okay to say no. Like, we are not doing that. Our job is to make sure that we are as humane as possible and that they are happy. There's a lot of misconceptions about this. I worked in the field for a very long time. I've created multitude of different polygenic mice, and I've used multiple programs to process genotypes, TGS, transgenetics. So it is a field that I know very well. In fact, this right here is Mr. Tootsie, and he came from a laboratory. Isn't he cute? But I want to end this with saying that despite what political side you are on, do your due diligence with all the information you receive. I want to remind people that politicians are not experts in every field. They are here to create structure for the country and do what is right for the people, or supposed to. And with both sides right now, there is a lot of misconstrued information. And I did not want to make this channel political at all, but because of the fact that there's been a lot of misinformation, and this is a subject that I know very well, I figured that I myself would make a video about it to clean up any misinformation out there. I know that the biotech field has been hit very hard with the government freeze. There's a lot of research that has been cut. Some of it has been for cancer research, Alzheimer's. I know that a lot of people are saying that it's probably for the betterment of the country, and hopefully something good will come of it. But this is just my experience as someone that comes from the biotech field, and someone that knows the scientists that worked with these transgendered mice. There's no such thing. I don't know how we would even spend $8 billion on transgendered mice. That makes no sense. But I can assure you that that is not a thing. Anyways, I appreciate you if you've watched this. Again, I hate to make this channel political, but I also have a lot of information that I can give about the biotech industry, genetics, mice, transgenic mice, transgender mice, which is not a thing. So I figured that this would be the perfect opportunity to educate people. If you are wondering about these funds and what's going into them, and there's just been a lot of misinformation, so I want to do my part and state what I know. And someone that has worked in the field for 10 years, I know a thing or two about it, so I figured that I would make a video. So if you like this, I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.